projecting, so I'm going to record in the computer. So here I am. I'm screen sharing, and oh gosh, I hope it's recording on the right one. Okay, I'm just gonna have to trust it. I have to trust the process. All right. So the instruction for today, day 2, we already went over learning targets. There's our learning targets right there. All right. Instruction for today, we'll go right here. And this is the table that we became familiar with on day 1, right? This is a table of monthly payments per $1,000 of principal. So the idea is that this is a table of monthly payments for if you were to borrow a loan of $1,000, right? The principal is how much you borrow. So if you were to take out a loan for $1,000, let's say at 8.5%, right, at an interest rate of 8.5%, say you're to take out a 2-year loan, at 8.5%. If you were to borrow $1,000 at 8.5% for 2 years, you'd have a monthly payment of $45.46. That's not too bad, right? Keep in mind there's some other interest rates over here. The table kind of is there's two halves of this table. Now, that's great if your loan is only $1,000, but what if your loan is $2,000? Well, if you have double the amount of principal, then you need to double the monthly payment, right? 45.46 times 2. I'd have to pull out my calculator here. I'm actually using a different machine, so I need to update this machine with the Wabbit. Would be $90.92. All right, $90.92. So if it was $10,000, right, that'd be 10 times bigger than 1,000. You just multiply that figure by 10. If it was a $100,000 loan, right, you'd have to multiply it by 100 and so on. So that's the idea of how to read this table. And today, we're not finding out the monthly payment, we're finding out the total amount of payments, right, to calculate the total amount that someone would spend on a loan in terms of their monthly payments. So in example 2, this is an example that shows you not only the problem, but a solution, right? So if you saw a question like this, what is the total amount of the monthly payments for a $4,000 2-year loan with an APR of 8.5%? Remember, APR stands for annualized percentage rate. All right, so we're going to look at the table. Go back to the table for a second. 2-year loan, 8.5%. So I'm looking for 8.5. Oh, there it is. 2-year. Oh, we're using that $45.46. Okay, so it's $4,000 loan. It's a $4,000 loan. So we need to multiply this $45.46 by 4. So $45.46 times 4. I'm doing it on my calculator over here. Whoop. It's $181.84. All right. So I know that the monthly payment is going to be $181.84. I know that in 2 years, there's 12 months in each year. So 2 times 12 is 24. There's going to be 24 monthly payments in a 2-year loan. So I take my monthly payment and I multiply it by how many months there are in the term of the loan. In this case, there's 24 months in the term of this loan. So $181.84 times 24, is $4,364.16. That is the total amount this person would have paid in terms of their monthly payments for this particular loan. They borrowed $4,000. They paid in total $4,364.16. You see that? If you're borrowing money, you got to pay interest. You got to pay all the $4,000 back. Plus, there's going to be interest on top of that. That's why this number, $4,364.16, is bigger than the principal borrowed. Okay. So the practice problem I have for you is this one right here. Keyshawn is going to borrow $25,000 for 4 years at an APR, annual percentage rate, of 7.75%. What is the total amount of all monthly payments Keyshawn made for this $25,000 loan, 4 years, with a term of 4 years, and an APR of 7.75? Let me give you some time to figure that out. I'll stop sharing. Take just a minute. Oh, and I'm still recording. I don't know what screen I'm recording on still. Okay, wonderful. For those of you watching on YouTube, you fast forward this part or just pause it here and do the calculation. Give me a little green check mark when you've got an answer, got a response, when you think you got something. Or give me any reaction, anything at all. Give me something on the reactions or in the participants. Oh, good. All right. We got one person saying they got something. Mari, Javier, we working on this? Okay, Mari's good. Good. All right. Javier, let me know what's going on in the chat. I'd like to know, make sure you're all right. All right, I'm going to share my screen. Let me go back to what I was doing there. There we go. All right, so here we go. My first step is to find the monthly payment, right? So I can ignore the 25,000 for a second. I'm just looking at 4 years with an APR of 7.75%. So I'm looking at 7.75. You know, Yomari and Cayman, if you want to put in the chat what you think it is, go for it. Take that risk. All right, so we got 7.75. Looking at four, there's my APR, right? I'm looking for 4 years, 4 years, 4 years right here. Right here is where I have the 4 years. So I have a monthly payment of $24.30. And the thing you got to remember with this table is it's for a principal of $1,000. So this is for a principal of $1,000. If I want to do a loan of $25,000, I need to multiply this by 25. So $24. Yeah, $24.30 times 25 is I have $607.50. Very good. That's so Cayman, what you have right there, that $24.30. I'm glad you found that, right? That is the monthly payment on $1,000, right? But if we are going to do it for a $25,000 loan at these terms, right? It's going to be the $24.30 times 25, right? I'm trying to put that in the chat right now. Like there, like so, right? Because our loan is going to be 25 times bigger, right? Or Keyshawn's loan is going to be 25 times bigger than $1,000 loan, right? Yep. Okay, Mr. K's already got it for us in that chat as well. So, so now we know what the monthly payment is. The monthly payment that Keyshawn's going to have to pay for this loan here is $607.50 per month. But this question doesn't ask what his monthly payment is. What does it ask? It says, what is the total of all monthly payments that Keyshawn made? So we're not done. We just have the monthly payment right now, which was $607.50. So now we need to think, how many monthly payments are there in a 4-year loan? How many payments are there in a 4-year loan? And there's two basic ways to go about this. I'll show you kind of how I think about it. I think about it like, okay, $607.50, all right? And I times it by 12 because I know there are 12 months in a year. And then I times that again by 4 because I know there are 4 years in this particular loan. That's one way to do it. The other way you might want to think about it is just you do 4 times 12 in your head automatically. Maybe you know that's 48. So you just do 607 times 48. Totally also legit way of going about this. It's really the same idea, you know, but sometimes you don't always want to do 12 times, maybe 12 times 7 in your head or 12 times 13 or something, right? You may not have your multiplication tables for 12 all sorts of memorized. So maybe this is the 12 times, you know, how many years the loan is. It's just an easier way of going about it. So that's kind of what I would put in there, right? Something like $607.50 times 12 times 4. I'd run that up on my calculator. That should be the total that Keyshawn would pay, right? And then, of course, what kind of answer are you expecting? You're expecting an answer which is slightly more than $25,000, right? If it's less than $25,000, something went wrong because he has to pay back the $25,000. You know, you're thinking, okay, he's got to pay back the $25,000, and then on top of that, there's going to be some interest. If you come up with a number that's like 100,000, something may not be right there, right? A number that's 4 times bigger than the principal pay then the principal borrowed is probably not something a usual type of loan. Something very either our math is wrong, or something very interesting is happening, like extraordinarily high interest rates and or extraordinarily long periods of time. Okay. Whew. All right. Now this one is a little bit tougher, which is why I made it a multiple choice question. So it's a challenge. I understand this one's a little added difficulty. The total monthly payments for a 5-year loan is $7,171.20. The APR is 7.25%. Can you find how much money was originally borrowed? To do this, you'll have to kind of like think in reverse, which is why this is a challenge problem, because thinking mathematically in reverse is not always the easiest thing. Let me just give you a minute to think about this. Some think time. Once you think you've got a possibility there, give me a little indication in the reactions or participants. All right, I'd say this one's a little more of an advanced question. You kind of show you how you might tackle something like this. So you want to pay attention to the loan term, the 5 years, and you want to pay attention to the APR, right? Because we're gonna undo. This is the total paid. This is the total paid. We're gonna undo what we did with Keyshawn's loan here. We found how much he paid total by what we found his monthly payment, and then we multiplied the monthly payment by how many months he paid. So here we're going to kind of undo some of that. Um, we know that it's a 5-year loan, and we know that the total paid was $7,171.20. So what we could do is we could begin dividing this payment here by how many months there is in a 5-year loan. We could begin doing that. That would narrow things down somewhat. But I guess I would go with actually just looking for 7.25 here. There's my 7.25%. Here's my 5-year loan. So I want to focus on this $19.92. All right. So I'll take my, let's see. I'm feeling a handicap not having my calculator on the screen like usual to show you. I'm taking the $7,171.20, and then I'm going to divide that by this monthly payment for $1,000 here. So 1992. All right, that gave me 360. All right, so I know that $19.92 is 360 times bigger, or sorry, smaller than $7,171.20. All right, now I can divide by how many months there are in a 5-year loan. All right, how many months there are in a 5-year loan. So I know that there are 12 months in each year, and I know that there are, let's see, there's 5 years here. So let me divide by 12, divide by 5. I get 6. 6 is what I get right there. I divided the 360 divided by 12 divided by 5, I got 6, which means I know that whatever this monthly payment here of $19 and where was it? $19. Where I lost it. There it is, $19.92. I know that this was the monthly payment was 6 times bigger, which means it must have been a loan for $6,000, right? Because this is for a principal of 1,000. All right, that one's challenging. I get that. So 6,000 there. I'm sorry, I'm getting some feedback. There we go. All right. Last but not least, finance charges. Remember, the finance charge is whatever you paid over what you borrowed. All right. So if you borrowed $4,000 and you calculated the total amount of monthly payments and it comes out to $4,364.16, well, your finance charge is how much you paid minus how much you borrowed. Because the difference between what you paid and what you borrowed is all the money on top of the money you borrowed, right? So the finance charge in this situation is going to be $364.16. They just took the total amount that was paid, so subtracted how much was borrowed, and the difference between those two things is the finance charge. So our last question, or second to last question for today, we have Keyshawn here. Keyshawn, he borrowed that $25,000 for 4 years, right? At an APR of 7.5%. So I'm going to find I'm going to find the monthly payment. There's 7.5%. There's 4 years. That's that $24.30. I got to multiply that $24.30 by 25. So $24.30 times 25, because this loan is 25 times bigger. That's that $607.50 again. Pardon me. All right. So now I have the monthly payment. I now need to figure out the total of monthly payments. What's the total monthly payments? Well, it's a 4-year loan. So I got to take that monthly payment. I got to multiply it by 4 and 12, right? Or 48, whichever way you want to do. So multiply it by 48, or multiply it by 4, and then again multiply it by 12. I get a figure of 29,160. 29,160. There we go. Right? And that's how much he paid total, 29,160. So the finance charge is going to be the difference between these two figures, $29,160 minus the $25,000 borrowed. That's the finance charge. Woof. Right? How much he paid over what the principal borrowed is. Sorry, people are chatting me up. And okay. Mr. K already put it in the chat. Wonderful. Yeah, thank you, sir. All right, and our last one here, is it the same? Oh, so this is, I'm going to have you do this probably for like homework, or you finish up in the last 2 minutes of class. Same situation, but now the only difference here is there is a $5,000 down payment, right? If Keyshawn paid a $5,000 down payment on a $25,000 loan, then you need to make this calculation as if he only borrowed 20,000, right? Because 25,000 minus 5,000 is 20,000. Basically, he doesn't have to repay the down payment. He doesn't have to make monthly payments on the down payment he made. So this $25,000 loan is really a $20,000 loan if he makes a $5,000 down payment. So do the same thing you did before. Find the monthly payment on 20,000. Find the total amount of payments on the 20,000. And then take the total amount he paid minus 20,000 to find the finance charge, right? And that's what it asks for, total finance charge. So it's basically the same thing we did up here, but with 20,000 instead of 25 because of a $5,000 down payment difference. And that's it. Once you got that last answer, you just want to click submit. Click submit, say your answer, and it goes in the books. I've been basically grading these at the end of the day every day. So you turn it in, and I look at these at the end of the day, and I grade them and put everything in the books. And that's what we got for today. Do we have any questions?